Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. Today we are taking an extended, in-depth, and professional look at the 1982 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that at first glance appears ordinary, yet carries a fascinating story when examined closely. This video is designed to give you a complete understanding of this coin, including its background, production circumstances, design details, rarity, condition sensitivity, collector demand, why certain examples are worth a lot of money, and what its realistic market value and worth look like as we move through 2026. The Washington quarter has been a constant presence in American life for generations. Introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the design became so popular and recognizable that it remained in circulation for decades. By the early 1980s, Americans were deeply familiar with the Washington quarter. It was a coin used daily for transportation, vending machines, parking meters, and everyday purchases. The year 1982 was a particularly important period for U.S. coinage. The United States was emerging from a time of high inflation and economic uncertainty. Demand for circulating coins was high, especially quarters, which were essential for commerce and automated machines. To meet this demand, the U.S. Mint produced enormous quantities of quarters at its facilities, including the Denver Mint. The 1982 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D on the obverse of the coin. This mint mark appears near the date, close to Washington's ponytail ribbon. While a single letter may seem insignificant, mint marks play a critical role in numismatics, helping collectors identify where a coin was struck and how it fits into the broader production history of the series. From a composition standpoint, the 1982 D quarter is a modern clad coin. Contains no silver. The coin is made of layers of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. Because it has no precious metal content, its value does not rise with silver prices. Instead, any value above face value is determined entirely by condition, scarcity in high grades, and collector demand. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the 1982 D Washington quarter is its overall rarity. On the surface, it seems impossible that a coin produced in such large numbers could ever be valuable. Hundreds of millions were struck, and many remain in circulation today. This leads many people to assume that all 1982 D quarters are common and worthless beyond 25 cents. However, rarity in coin collecting does not always mean low mintage. Often, it means rarity in a specific condition. This is where the 1982 D quarter becomes interesting. In 1982, the U.S. Mint did not issue official uncirculated mint sets. This means collectors could not buy freshly struck, carefully preserved quarters directly from the mint as they could in many other years. As a result, nearly all 1982 D quarters were released straight into circulation. They were transported in large bags, dumped into counting machines, and handled repeatedly. This process caused contact marks, scratches, and surface damage almost immediately after striking. Over time, circulation wear further reduced the number of high-quality surviving examples. Because of this, while the coin is common in worn condition, it becomes increasingly scarce as the grade increases. Truly uncirculated examples are much harder to find than many people expect. High-grade uncirculated coins are even more elusive, and top-grade specimens are genuinely rare. The design of the coin itself is classic and well-balanced. On the obverse, George Washington faces left in a dignified profile. The word liberty appears along the top rim of the coin. The motto "I in God we trust" is placed to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1982 appears near the bottom, with the D Mint mark indicating Denver. The reverse design features a bald eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows. Beneath the arrows are olive branches, symbolizing peace balanced with strength. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "quarter dollar" frame the design. Collectors carefully examine the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, the definition of the arrows, and the overall strike quality when determining value. Condition is the most important factor when evaluating a 1982 D Washington quarter. Coins that have circulated heavily show clear signs of wear. Washington's hair appears flat, facial details are softened, and the eagle's feathers lose definition. These coins are extremely common and are worth face value. Lightly circulated coins may retain some original detail and a small amount of luster, but they usually command little to no premium. These coins are still plentiful and do not attract significant collector interest. Uncirculated coins show no wear from circulation, but not all uncirculated coins are the same. Lower mint state examples may still have numerous contact marks, dull or uneven luster, and weaker strikes. These coins are worth more than circulated examples, but they are not considered rare. As the grade increases, the number of surviving examples drops sharply. High-grade mint state coins exhibit bright original luster, clean surfaces, sharp details, and strong eye appeal. Because so few 1982D quarters survived in this condition, collector demand rises dramatically. At the very top of the grading scale, coins graded MS67 or higher are extremely rare. These coins often come from original rolls or long-stored collections that were never exposed to circulation. They are usually certified by professional grading services to verify their condition and authenticity. At this level, the coin becomes a serious collectible rather than just spare change. This leads to the question many viewers ask: is the 1982D Washington quarter worth a lot of money? The honest answer depends entirely on condition. Most examples are worth 25 cents. Some uncirculated coins are worth a few dollars. High-grade certified coins can be worth hundreds of dollars. The finest known examples, with exceptional preservation and top grades, have sold for thousands of dollars. These prices are driven by competition among collectors who want the best possible example for their collections. Modern coin collecting has seen strong interest in registry sets, where collectors compete for the highest graded coins. This competition places significant pressure on the limited supply of top-grade 1982D quarters. There are also mint error examples associated with this coin. Errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or struck through debris do exist, though they are not common. When these errors are genuine and visually clear, they can add substantial value. However, error coins must always be authenticated, as damage after minting is often mistaken for true mint errors. As we look at the market in 2026, values for the 1982D Washington quarter follow established patterns. Circulated coins remain at face value. Lower uncirculated examples hold modest premiums. High-grade certified coins continue to command strong prices due to their scarcity and ongoing collector demand. While markets can fluctuate, condition-rare coins tend to hold their value better over time than common pieces. If you believe you may have a valuable example, there are a few important steps to follow. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and destroy collector value. Handle the coin only by its edges. Store it in a protective holder. Compare it carefully to professionally graded examples. If the coin appears exceptionally sharp, bright, and well-preserved, professional grading may be worth considering. The 1982D Mint Mark Washington quarter is a perfect example of why knowledge matters in coin collecting. It is a coin that millions have spent without noticing, yet it can become highly valuable in the right condition. Most are ordinary, but the best examples tell an extraordinary story. The 1982p Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people overlook but one that holds an important place in modern American coin collecting. This is not just another ordinary quarter. Its story is tied to U.S. mint history, economic conditions of the early 1980s, collector demand, and the powerful role that condition plays in determining value. As we move closer to 2026, interest in this coin continues to grow, especially among collectors who focus on modern issues and condition rarity. The Washington quarter design was first introduced in 1932 as a one-year commemorative to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Due to its popularity and strong public reception, the design was continued as a regular circulating coin. Over the decades, the Washington quarter became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. By the time 1982 arrived, the design had been in use for 50 years, and the quarter was one of the most heavily used coins in everyday commerce. The 1982p Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and carries the P Mint mark. This was still relatively new for quarters, as Philadelphia did not consistently use mint marks on this denomination until the late 1970s. The total mintage for this coin exceeded 500 million pieces, which on the surface suggests that the coin should be extremely common and not particularly valuable. However, mintage numbers alone do not tell the full story. The early 1980s were a challenging time for the U.S. economy. Inflation was high, metal prices were volatile, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce large quantities of coins as efficiently as possible. In 1982, the Mint made a key decision that would later impact collectors. It did not produce official uncirculated mint sets for the public. This meant that collectors did not have an easy way to obtain pristine examples directly from the mint.asa result. Nearly all 1982 P quarters entered circulation immediately. They were transported in large bags, dumped into counting machines, and distributed through banks for everyday use. From the moment they were released, these coins were exposed to heavy handling, contact marks, and wear. Very few were saved in original condition, and even fewer were stored properly to preserve their surfaces and luster. Over time, this led to a significant gap between the number of coins produced and the number of coins that survived in high-grade condition. Today, most 1982 P quarters show clear signs of circulation. These include wear on Washington's hair and cheek, flattened details on the eagle's wings and breast, numerous surface marks, and a dull or muted appearance from years of handling in uncirculated condition. The 1982 P Washington quarter is generally worth only its face value of 25 cents. Even examples with light wear typically command only a small premium, if any. For most people, these coins are simply pocket change. However, the situation changes dramatically once condition enters the conversation. Uncirculated 1982 P quarters are far scarcer than many collectors expect. Coins that still retain original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal surface marks are difficult to find. Even among uncirculated examples, quality can vary widely. Some may show heavy bag marks or weak strikes, while others stand out with clean surfaces and strong visual appeal. This is where professional grading becomes critical. Grading services evaluate coins using a standardized scale that measures wear, surface preservation, luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. For modern coins like the 1982 P quarter, even small differences can result in large value changes. A coin graded MS-63 may appear attractive to the casual observer, but it is far more common than one graded MS-66 or MS-67. Coins graded MS-65 are considered high quality and are relatively scarce for this issue. These coins typically show strong luster and only minor contact marks. At this level, collector demand increases significantly, and prices can rise into the tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on market conditions. At the upper end of the grading scale, the 1982 P Washington quarter becomes a true condition rarity. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are exceptionally difficult to locate. These examples display near-perfect surfaces, sharp strikes, and vibrant mint luster. Because so few exist, they are highly sought after by advanced collectors who specialize in registry sets or modern U.S. coinage. When top-graded examples appear at auction, competition can be intense. In some cases, prices have reached several $1,000s, and in rare instances, even higher. These results are not representative of the average coin, but they clearly demonstrate how valuable this issue can become when condition and rarity intersect. As we look toward 2026, the outlook for the 1982 P Washington quarter remains divided by condition. Circulated examples are expected to remain abundant and worth face value. There is simply too much supply and too little demand for worn coins. However, uncirculated and certified examples, especially those in higher grades, are likely to maintain steady interest. Modern coin collecting has shifted in recent years. More collectors are focusing on condition rarity rather than age alone. Coins from the late 20th century are now old enough to be considered historical, yet modern enough to be relatable. This trend supports continued demand for coins like the 1982 P quarter in top condition. Another factor supporting future value is the limited supply of high-grade examples. No new coins can be created, and the number of existing top-quality pieces is fixed. Over time, improper storage, cleaning, and accidental damage continue to reduce the number of coins that qualify for high grades. It is important for collectors and viewers to understand that cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Even light cleaning can leave microscopic scratches that permanently lower the grade. Proper storage in a dry, stable environment and minimal handling are essential for preserving condition. For anyone who believes they may have an exceptional 1982 P quarter, careful examination is key. Look for strong luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces. Coins that appear dull, scratched, or worn are unlikely to have significant value beyond face value. Professional grading should only be considered if the coin has a realistic chance of receiving a high grade. In conclusion, the 1982p Mint Mark Washington $quarter is a powerful example of how an ordinary circulating coin can become a sought-after collectible. While hundreds of millions were struck, only a tiny fraction survived in top condition. That scarcity, combined with growing collector interest, gives this coin lasting appeal. As we move closer to 2026, the 1982p quarter continues to attract attention from collectors who understand that rarity is not always about low mintage, but about survival and condition. Keep checking your change, old collections, and forgotten coin jars, because sometimes the most valuable coins are hiding in plain sight. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more long-form coin history and value content. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.